My name is Anahata, and I am originally from England, but I have lived in the United States since 1980. I have lived in cities that are very progressive like Seattle, Washington and Los Angeles, California. But now I find myself in southern Georgia, where there is a lot of land, it's very green, but environmental practices lag behind more progressive states. I want to make a significant contribution towards addressing a fundamental problem in our society, that of food waste. The Environmental Protection Agency estimates that more food reaches landfills and incinerators than any other single material in our everyday trash, about 21% of the waste stream. Reducing food waste will help the US address climate change, as 20% of the total US methane emissions comes from landfills. My proposal aims to redirect that food waste by implementing a project that is inspired by the Vermont Compost Company. In Montpelier, Vermont, food scraps are collected from institutions such as hospitals, prisons, schools and restaurants, and they're delivered to the Compost Company, where an army of chickens eat the food and transform it into their acclaimed compost. Other forms of manure and trace elements are also part of the mix, but essentially the chickens are the catalysts for turning that which was waste into something that is life-giving and sustaining for the life of our communities, namely the soil in which to grow our food to assure the continuity of life. I live in a small countryside town. Once upon a time here, almost everyone would have had a backyard flock of chickens. That is according to the elders of the community. Experts call chicken manure liquid gold, and it is truly amazing how potently chickens can help us develop topsoil that is rich in nutrients and ready to grow anything we want. Chickens equal sustainability. Even the roosters who do not lay eggs can help us create the best soil in the world. I started with my personal flock of chickens about 3 years ago. My specialty chickens are silkies. I started with just 4 silkies, and although I paid the big dollars to get just females, 2 of my 4 girls turned out to be boys. Contrary to my initial impulse and desire, little babies came along and soon my flock began to grow. None of this was in my plan. But I soon found that silkies are the most broody of all the chicken breeds. Silkies love to be mothers and teach their offspring with love and devotion. They are gentle and kind creatures. Instead of incubating chicks as most people do currently, all of my chickens are born from mother hen. Mother's love is the best and most humane way of bringing chickens into the world. In my sustainable food waste project, the hens, roosters and chicks will all make valuable contributions to producing organic compost. It is even possible to integrate rescue chickens into the plan. In my project, there will be accommodation for the chickens to adhere to their own natural cycles and rhythms. Their eggs will help to generate income and eventually the sale of the compost as well, once the formula has been perfected. In a very small way, I am already implementing the principles of my project. I am collecting food scraps from my local coffee shop, The Station, and from a wonderful local bed and breakfast, Hogan House, where the family who runs it used to own an organic chicken farm in Australia that had 3,500 chickens, so they have been a great resource to me. I adhere to the adage, think globally but act locally. I want my local contribution to be diverting food waste in our county away from the landfill and to engage restaurants, hospitals, prisons and schools, as well as individuals, to offer their food scraps that will be fed to the chickens, who will, in turn, work for their living and turn the unwanted food into compost for our gardens to flourish. The cycle of life is a win-win-win when we apply our intelligence for the benefit of all.